Happy spring season, everybody, and Tony here with my review of the Trinke, Seele, Trinke, Einsamkeit Liederabend with full lyric tenor Andrei Danilov, Cavalier Bariton Artur Garbas, Spinto soprano Maria Motoligina, poetess Dilek Mayatur, and pianist John Parr, which I saw at the Deutsche Oper Berlin. This was an exciting evening for German Lieder, especially composed by Richard Strauss and Aribert Reimann, because this was an unbeatable evening, mainly for Andrei Danilov, Artur Garbas, and Maria Motoligina, who I was so excited to see tonight, and they were able to pull off the goods in terms of excellent singing, pristine techniques all around, and thorough dedication to their craft. Starting the evening off was Andrei Danilov singing Richard Strauss's Ach weh mir unglückhaften Mann, Ständchen, heimliche Aufforderung, and Cecilia. What more can I say about Andrei Danilov? He has become one of my most favorite full lyric tenors of all time as of this year. I have always admired everything that has defined Andrei Danilov as one of the most superb singing actors, let alone most technically proficient singers ever. His squealo is thoroughly unbeatable. Every time he opened his mouth to sing, it was just like swords and spears and lances just pouring out of his mouth as if those soldiers were prepared to attack enemy troops from invading their homeland and therefore protect their homeland with all of their might. It almost felt like huge comets just pouring right out of his mouth, full of excitement and full of brilliance. Not to mention, he had abundant core, which was also helped by a homogeneous timbre from bottom to top. Everything from his chest tones to his head voice, as well as those high notes, made him absolutely brilliant. It was such a bone-chilling, hair-raising, and thoroughly exciting experience just listening to Andrei Danilov's voice radiate throughout the evening with the help of John Parr's superb piano playing, especially considering that this was a voice with a lot of colors, beauty, nuances, virility, and sheer awesomeness that he left me on the edge of my seat. And there were times that I had goosebumps just by listening to the sheer magnitude of Signore Andrei Danilov's luscious, handsome, and exciting voice that has all the potential to sing more Italianate roles and roles that really do call for demanding singing, let alone borderline spinto singing. There was not one fault that I spotted with Andrei Danilov's singing, and he continued to rock it all the way through, and he definitely continued to show excellence, outstanding technique, and thoroughness, all thanks to his sheer dedication, virility, and absolutely phenomenal vocal and theatrical presence. Artur Garbas followed suit with his rendition of Aribert Reimann's Nachtstück, and his voice was also as virile, handsome, clear, and focused. This is a Cavalier Bariton who has such a magnificent vocal presence, as well as a handsome, dashing, noble, and wonderfully manly presence that made me thoroughly convinced that he is one of Hermann Preis, Carl Schmidt-Walters, and Gerhard Hüsche's heirs. That is just how magnetic Artur Garbas continues to be. His majestic presence, his round, clear, and handsomely virile timbre, and the effortless manner in which he tackled those high notes, whether it be in A flat flat or a G or even an F. He was absolutely flawless every time he opened his mouth to sing, and what came out of his mouth were torrents of beautiful sound, a lot of nobility, and great charisma, which were his strong suits. In turn, he used that charisma, handsomeness, and virility as suits of armor that made him absolutely amazing as a baritone to look out for in the best possible way. Maria Motoligina concluded the concert with her rendition of Richard Strauss's four last songs. She was supposed to sing in the Strauss concert barely 2 months ago before being taken over by Maria Bengtsson. But hearing her sing the four last songs by Richard Strauss, namely Frühling, September, Beim Schlafengehen, and Im Abendrot, was just an absolutely amazing experience. I've always admired Maria Motoligina's spinto soprano voice because of how well balanced it is, how clear it is, and how she was able to let her voice soar over an orchestra, or in this case, over the piano. She was able to just sell it so beautifully, complete with nobility, charm, beauty, strength, and a marbled golden tone that she was able to master so effectively. She was beautifully coordinated from bottom to top. She was thoroughly well balanced. Her voice continued to be so voluminous. And most importantly, she was elegant, radiant, and clear, thus demonstrating, let alone exercising, technical excellence and pristinely golden tones pouring right out of her mouth with no faults whatsoever. And I can definitely hear and see a great future for Maria Motoligina in a lot more Italianate spinto soprano roles. So here's also hoping that she continues to maintain her overall vocal beauty, and here's also hoping that she continues to sell the goods as one of the finest spinto sopranos I've ever heard of this year. I also have to give major props to Dilek Mayatürk's resonant, clear, and authoritative mezzo-sounding voice, especially when she was reading her texts with such introspection, detail, and a whole lot of nuances, thus making her thoroughly involved as a speaker, let alone as a poetess. And John Parr's fine piano playing for bolstering tonight's concert. What more can be said about Trinke, Seele, Trinke, Einsamkeit, or tonight's Liederabend? This was an absolutely amazing evening of Lieder, especially when you have such amazingly phenomenal singers such as Andrei Danilov's steely, virile, and penetrating full lyric tenor voice just singing up a storm with those Richard Strauss songs, Artur Garbas's handsome nobility being such a wonderful asset in Aribert Reimann's Nachtstück, and Maria Motoligina exercising, let alone demonstrating, elegance, class, and a marbled golden tone, all thanks to how she was able to let her spinto soprano voice flow, flourish, and radiate with such amazing beauty in Richard Strauss's four last songs. On top of that, the evening also wrapped up with an encore number, Zueignung, also by Richard Strauss, which at first starts off with Dilek Mayatürk reciting the poem, and then we had the pleasure of Artur Garbas singing the first stanza, Andrei Danilov singing the second, and Maria Motoligina singing the third, before both Andrei Danilov and Maria Motoligina hit that high A with such brilliance and such amazing clarion power that I was grinning from ear to ear at their astounding vocal and theatrical prowess. These three singers managed to make the evening thoroughly exciting, and they deserve a whole lot of salutes, applauses, and a whole lot of acclaim because they have worked so hard and so smart for ensuring that their techniques remain as evergreen, brilliant, and strong, let alone as formidable and absolutely phenomenal as ever. This was an unbeatably amazing evening for Lida, and this was such a huge privilege to see these brilliant stars own it in everything that they continue to do. And for those of you who watched, let alone listened to the Trinke, Seele, Trinke, Einsamkeit Liederabend at the Deutsche Oper Berlin, what'd you think of it? Did you feel that Andrei Danilov, Artur Garbas, and Maria Motoligina were at their vocal best in their respective Lieder? What was your most favorite lead out of all of the Lieder that they were singing, whether it was Andrei Danilov singing his Richard Strauss songs, or Artur Garbas singing Aribert Reimann's Nachtstück, or Maria Motoligina singing Richard Strauss's four last songs? Did you also feel that they were able to own their respective songs with aplomb, confidence, and beauty? Did you also enjoy Dilek Mayatürk's readings? Or did you feel that the Liederabend was not really to your liking, let alone your cup of tea? Please let me know in the comments below. Well, that's it for my review of the Trinke, Seele, Trinke, Einsamkeit Liederabend at the Deutsche Oper Berlin. Tune in next time for another review because this month is mostly dedicated to the Verdi operas. So until then, happy spring season, everybody.